getting, motherfuckers?
That's a great way to open up. Welcome to the ESR GT2 race for 2019. We are doing two 30-minute sprint races around the Red Bull Ring. Can you guess where the Red Bull Ring is, Byron?
Right next to the Red Horse Ring.
It is, of course, in Austria, home of Red Bull.
Of course, my second guess.
Also, the Austrian flag there was a little bit of a gimmick.
Wait, hold on, time out. The Philippines is the home of Red Bull. Listen, you gotta, if you want some, like, really black market, ridiculous, horse fucking semen fueled energy drink shit, you gotta go to the Philippines or China.
Okay, the mainstream Red Bull.
That's not even applicable, I'm sorry. Who the fuck, what the hell's going on? Crazy Albanian off in the weeds. Let's be clear here. Mike's put this off so far that I've had I'm into my second liter of wine here. So you're in for a treat. Or a curse.
We are in for a treat if that's the case, Jesus. So, we have 20, I want to say 27, but it might be 28 cars, and just one guy hasn't posted a lap time yet. Here at the Austrian racetrack Red Bull Ring in GT2. So we got Corvettes, Porsches, BMWs, Ferraris, and Cadillacs. Just two Cadillacs in the entire grid. That is myself and Joel Martinez. There is your grid. Darcy Parkinson starts on pole from Nikos Papamihail, Vangelis Pargenos, Sean Kenny, and Vinnie Roberts, your top five. Your top man in Division 2 is Guillaume Brisset in 6th position. And recently promoted Luciano Ichazo in P8 is also there. Your top Division 3 man is Jesse Hampton in P18 there in the blue Porsche. So, yeah.
Luciano, the Iberian Ichazo.
That would be better if he's actually from the Iberian Peninsula.
Wouldn't it, though? Yeah, you got the
Imperio
Hamon.
So an interesting change that appears to have occurred on the most recent Spectator update. It looks like we could tell what tires they're on now, because instead of a tire with, you know, the color coding, it's an S for soft.
SAWFT, Swaft. So
that'll make that a lot easier to tell who's running what when we're on them. It'd be nice if we could get that added to the standing screen. That I think would be the final pièce de résistance in that regard.
Yeah. Also, I would enjoy. So it says the yellow S in the circle there. I would like that too. And
for heart.
Yes, I would like all of these to start off as green and deteriorate in color towards red. The further they deteriorate. Oh my God, that guy's dead. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. All those are all dead. Oh my God, dead.
In defense of the carnage, we had some problems at the start of the race where everyone kind of loaded in at a very staggered rate. So some people just did not move off the grid. It was pretty bad, and basically it was a case of ping. So those who were geographically further away from the server kind of got fucked.
Well, maybe they should move closer.
But we're all away, and everyone did survive the early problems, so we still have 27 cars running.
Mr. Pargenos is with Mammut Racing. He is the Mammut.
We got Vinnie Roberts in a battle with the BMW of Eric Friesen over 3rd position. Right behind them is Vangelis Pargenos.
Go, Vinnie, go!
Nikos Papamihail fell way back. He's down to 13th position after starting on the front row. So he definitely got the worst of it.
It's because he's lying about being Albanian.
But he is Greek.
Do we have proof of that? Do we see some ID, sir? Some ID?
I don't know why you would lie about that. Most of the cars will be running the soft tires. There are a couple of cars running the hard tires, including myself, Mike McGracken, down in 14th position. You deal with that as the Cadillacs are a little bit hard on their tires. And by the end of the race on softs, you're really starting to struggle, is the answer to that question. So in the meantime, it is a BMW 1-2 with 1-2-3 with Darcy Parkinson leading Martin Edmonds and Eric Friesen. Actually, Not only is it a BMW 123, Byron, it is a Canadian 123.
Oh my goodness. Number 2 being Martin the Poutine Machine Edmond.
Indeed, Vinnie Roberts, the top non-Canadian in 4th place. We ride on board with him as he went for a move there, but it was aborted. He leads Vangelis Parginos, Guillaume Brisset, Andy Blade in 7th place in the John Player Special Lotus-colored Ferrari. Ariel Zatoni, Sean Kenny, and Vissar Gicoli are your top 10.
I'm a little disappointed. There is no clap. There is only takeout, and there's no Yevgeny. There is only excuses. So nobody's getting brutally slammed right T-bone into the wall.
No, not yet.
However, that start was pretty good.
it does look like we have lost Richard DeRoche from the race based on the fact that he is dropping back like a full minute behind at this point. It's still going, so I think we've lost the Thrustmaster Corvette.
Is that Grande Ricardo?
That is Grande Ricardo.
Grande Ricardo!
Grande Ricardo and Richard DeRoche, same guy.
See, Senpai, drive with me.
Indeed. So we were looking forward to like the BMWs not having the dominance they've had at a couple of rounds, and we've got a 1-2-3 BMW. So not really sure what to make of that. With a Corvette and a Porsche running up the top 10, top Ferrari is Andy Blade. The top Cadillac is Mike McGracken in 14th position. Cadillac, by the way, desperately needs an actual Division 1 driver. That would be nice.
I think what you're really trying to say is that Guillaume Brisset is not ruthless enough and hasn't totally eliminated Go Vinny Go and Mr. Albania himself.
He's a little bit too far away to really make that happen. He's getting gapped a bit.
That's racist.
Looks like we got some action going in the middle field there. Looked like something happened. Bunch of guys flipping around. Oh, looks like Andy Blade falling way back. He's down to 19th position. He was up in 7th.
He did tell me he bought 72 cases of Dookie Brown and that he drank half of them.
That's probably ill-advised in this particular circumstance.
I didn't say it was right. I just said he did it because he's a crazy Scotsman.
Indeed. Eric Friesen looking to make a move on Martin Edmonds. And, of course, whenever we're talking about Martin Edmonds, and we're talking about a race where you got to make one set of tires last to the end of it, you know we're going to bring up Martin's history of absolutely murdering the tires.
I may or may not have put up a shredder GIF earlier in the day on the on the Discord.
Indeed.
Martin the Poutine Machine.
But he is in 2nd for now, so the tires are holding up so far.
Yeah, because he put gravy all over his tires.
Probably.
Mammut! Get a mammut!
Red Bull Ring. Oh, Guillaume Brisset off the track. Dropping down behind Vissar Gicoli. Nikos Papamihail has fought his way back into the top 10. He is in 8th place in the Porsche, right behind Mr. Brisset.
Better tires, better ingredients, Papamihail.
That's a good one. I like that one. We continue on here. I'm not entirely certain we've lost Richard Drosha, actually. It looks like he may have actually rejoined, perhaps?
Grande Ricardo. Grande Ricardo.
And your boy Steve Carman struggling down in 26th position.
I don't understand that at all. Why isn't he 37 seconds ahead of first place?
Indeed. He goes Papamihail putting the pressure on Guillaume Brisset. We saw Brisset go off earlier, so he definitely can be pressured into mistakes. Eric Friesen. The top 5 kind of making a getaway. Vissar Gicoli in 6th place is a little bit of the cork in the bottle, so to speak, I think. And it looks like Nikos Papamihail going down the inside of Guillaume Brisset, but Brisset manages to hold it in the first corner. Red Bull Ring, very challenging track. A lot of very technical aspects to the race. Difficult to master. And you will probably hit the wall a number of times during your attempts to do so.
Si, grande.
I think definitely Vissar Gicoli is the man holding everything up here. John Spriggs, who actually qualified quite high is making kind of a comeback through the grid. He's battling with Luciano Chaza, who also qualified quite high. So there are still a number of cars not really in the correct position right now. And a couple of cars a fair bit higher on the grid. I mean, for example, you've got a battle for 14th place going that is actually the battle for the Division 3 lead between Mike McGracken and Noel Robbins.
You can do it.
Andy Blade, we know, of course, very out of place right now. He was up at 7th. He's now back in 25th position.
I'm saying, maybe if he didn't just douse all the soft tires with Nuki Brown, he'd be alright.
Might be. Be interesting to know who is on the hard tires. I do know there are at least 3 cars. Andy Unayaki, who we saw earlier on, is on the hards. Mike McGracken is on the hards. And Andy Blade is on the hard tires as well.
Would like to give a high five out to anybody who could realize why, in fact, I nicknamed Uniaki the Urchin in the comments below. Little audience participation would be good.
Another hard-tired user is Wesley Stokes, who is turning up the pressure on Noel Robbins. They're in a battle for 15th position.
I would like to state that I am totally stoked.
Martin Edmonds, kind of holding with Darcy Parkinson, to be honest. I thought Darcy, with the 2 Greeks having terrible starts, was going to be quite a ways up there, but he's hanging on. Battle is there. We also got a pretty good fight here that has a lot of Division 3 relevancy with the Division 3 leader, Mike McGracken, just ahead of Noel Robbins, who's in Division 3, Dennis Meissner, who's in Division 3, and Jesse Hampton.
Mike the Cracklin, a.k.a. Pork Rind himself.
I will take that crown.
Bubbly and crispy.
So the highest hard-tired car that we're aware of is McGracken in 14th position. So the top 3 are all on softs. Now, mind you, at this point, there's no question you'd prefer to be on the soft tires. The question starts to come up around 15 minutes left in the race. Have your softs let go? Are they starting to be a liability? And at that point, do the hards, which can maintain pretty much the same pace throughout the entire race, start to come into their own.
My only question is, can you stagger the tires? Can you have like a left and right hard and soft, and a back left and right hard and soft?
Unfortunately, no. You have to have 4 matching tires.
Lame!
The only question might be, in the event of a pit stop race, could you just change 2 tires?
Maybe.
So that'd be interesting. That would perhaps make the soft to soft a little bit more of a viable strategy, because you could just run a pair of softs to the Dennis Meister and Mike McGracken.
It's getting feisty.
Getting a little physical between the Cadillac and the
You can do it. Robots are out. Fuck that guy.
A little physicality between the BMW and the Cadillac here.
I'm totally into encouraging the testosterone and not niceness.
Wesley Stokes and Noel Robbins have jumped that particular battle. We didn't see how they made their way around. Meissner has gotten in front of McGracken in the battle for 16th place, although not over yet. You can see them flipping hands in the background there, and it looks like Meissner has gone off.
Get it, bullet!
Dennis Meissner is surging down the back. We've seen Guillaume Brisset lose a spot to Nikos Papamihail, who has moved up into 6th place, getting past both the BMWs of Brisset and Giacoli. The next man up is Sean Kenny, who's trying to make his way through.
Get him, Puma! I would like Sean Kenny and Vinnie Roberts to team up so we have the Vinnie Kenny racing team.
You've heard it there, Sean and Vinnie. Make it happen.
Vinnie Kenny! Vinnie Kenny! Also, homeboys out in Sector 3, I want as much customization as possible for these cars so that I can see ridiculous bullshit like they put 1 soft tire on the rear left for no reason. I just need to see carnage and ridiculousness.
I hate to cut in, but Martin Edmonds is trying to go around the outside of Darcy Parkinson.
That seems odd and yet effective.
And he has taken the lead.
Yeah,
Martin
boy.
Edmonds has gone to P1. Darcy's on the hard tires, actually, so there's your answer as to who the highest ranking hard tire car is.
The poutine machine had come through like the greasy weasel himself, love.
Indeed. Darcy must have made a mistake in that sequence because there just isn't... I can't wrap my head around the idea that Martin was able to go around the outside of him on, like, just genuine pace. And that's not meant as an insult to Martin. It's just the idea of anyone going around the outside of Darcy on genuine pace is very concerning.
Well, I mean, I hear that Darcy has a problem with a certain dietary disorder, and he may or may not be as wide as people think he is.
Oh, I see. I see where you're going with that. And Vinnie Roberts, who of course has been tremendously consistent, been on the podium pretty much every race, is looking to get down the inside of Eric
He's
Friesen.
coming in! He's going for it!
Indeed.
Oh, what are you doing? Focus backwards, you
looks
fucker.
like Friesen held it! Friesen held it! So Eric Friesen maintains the all-Canadian BMW podium for now. Nico's
You got froze out.
By the way, as if to prove the whole Visar Jacoli is a little bit of a stopper in the bottle, Nikos Papamihail is absolutely raking it in against the top five. He is coming. John Spriggs in a battle with Joe Racer, and the other Corvette there is Luciano Ichazo. Looks like Ichazo got around Joe Racer, and Spriggs has been unable to follow him through. John Spriggs very out of position. He's been one of the fastest cars in the field, and down in 13th place is definitely not suiting a man who's absolutely got the pace to make a big championship push here at Red Bull Ring. Up ahead of them is the Corvette of Lucas Malewski, who I'm kind of interested to know if it should be reversed, actually, because I noticed on Race App that he's got his name as Malewski Lucas. Interesting.
He's obviously Japanese.
Vinnie Roberts is going for it again, and I think he's got it on Eric Friesen. In fact, Friesen might want to worry about Vangelis Pargenos here, who is also coming on strong. The Greek freak in the Porsche, looking to follow the Corvette through. Can he do it? Eric Friesen might lose 2 spots here, or he might maintain third. I'm not sure yet. Now, heading up into this corner, okay, Vinnie Roberts has gotten in front. We'll see if Eric tries to make a comeback here. He's going to have the better brakes than the Corvette, but it looks like Vinnie is, for now, going to hold on to it. Nikos Papamihail is on a charge there in 6th place. He is caught up to the back of this fight. Continuing on down the grid. The pole position for race 2, by the way, is 8th place. So that currently is Guillaume Brisset, the Guillotine Brisket. Might be starting at the front of the pack there, Byron.
I haven't had brisket since the summer, and it makes my dick 3/4 of the way hard every time you say it.
The 2 Cadillacs are racing each other down in 18th and 19th. McGracken versus Martinez. Just kind of noting that because of the rarity of the Cadillacs.
Put him in the wall, Joel! I mean, what? Sorry?
At least call him Joel. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's possible. Listen, Senor Martinez, if you have a discrepancy with the pronunciation, please let us know. I don't know why I went French. I'm sorry. Either do the commentation on the YouTube video, or message myself or Miodred or Mike on Discord.
Indeed, we will happily correct any names that we are butchering.
Yeah,
if you tell us.
Correct. I'm pretty sure John Pache's name is John, not Juan, but I'm gonna call him Juan. Juanito Pache.
For example, Simeon Naku. Correct us on the pronunciation of his name. I think we've been pretty solid on it. Oh, speaking of pronunciations, he's not in this race, so it's not applicable here. Although it looks like Darcy Parkinson's gone back to the lead due to a mistake by Martin Emmons, but Jorgen Walby, he says we're getting his name right, but he will also accept JW as his name.
What is he on fucking Dallas?
I don't know.
Who shot JW?
Sean Kenny with a spin, and he's dropping out of the top 10 down to, looks like about 13th place in the Puma car. Your boy.
No! I need the Vinnie Kinney.
Indeed. Meantime, further back in the pack, it looks like we've lost Andy Unayaki, the Urchin in the BMW. One of the contenders for the Division 3 crown might be out of the race. Tracking the battles divisionally speaking, Guillaume Brisset is on the verge of yet another division win, just absolutely beating the tar out of Division 2 right now. The leading Division 3 driver is Noel Robbins in 15th position. And of course, the top Division 1 driver is the race leader, Darcy Parkinson.
The Syndrome.
So at this point, Darcy's tires are probably in notably better shape than Martin's, and he might be able to just, power away from him finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, first place we have Darcy the Syndrome Parkinson against Martin the Poutine Machine Edmond, and in third place we have Eric Le Mr. Frison.
Should be also noted, Vinnie Roberts, I think, made a mistake because he was in third and is now in fifth. He's lost positions to both Friesen and Pargenos. So
yeah, that's where I kind of broke off. I was gonna do a Vinnie Captain Slick Roberts, and then he wasn't there.
Yeah, I figured you would either go with the Captain Roberts or the Snake reference.
We're
We're really the two places to go with that.
Vinnie Serpentine Robert.
Indeed. Rounding off the top 10, it is Visar Jacoli. We seem to have lost Nikos Papamihail. He's fallen back down to 12th place, so he's had an off of some kind. Once again,
yeah.
So a bit of a fumbling opportunity here for the Greeks.
That boy had too much fucking Suzuki in the tank.
Looking further down, we got a good battle going on between Papamihail, Spriggs, and Ichazo over 10th place. Looks like Ichazo might have made a mistake and has slipped back a little bit.
Jamon Iberico.
In the meantime, we have a Porsche on the podium right now in the form of Vangelis Pargenos, who's gotten past Eric Friesen, but the battle continues there. And by the way, here is that battle we were talking about. Nikos Papamihail versus Joe Racer versus John Spriggs. Battle for 9th position.
He's gonna put them all on the wall.
Might. It's possible.
Get him, Vinny! Go, Vinny, go!
Meantime, Hole Martinez has had a bit of a problem. He slipped down to 22nd position.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. You either get out of the way, or Vinny gonna give you the spinny.
It looks like Ariel Zatoni has gone off at somewhere. He's lost a spot to Martinez and is about to lose one to John Pache as well. Vinnie Roberts putting the pressure on Eric Friesen. Looking to take 4th place. These two battled over 3rd place, and then I think Roberts made a bit of a mistake. Wound up at the back of this queue. Running pretty solidly in the top 5.
I think he's literally one inside-outside from going 2 spots up.
Could be. In the meantime, the front...
Not quite.
Doesn't look like he made it through, no. And at the front, it looks like Martin Edmonds is losing ground. He's lost about a half second over the last lap. Vinnie Roberts is through. He's up into 4th place. Nope, I said it, and Eric Friesen got it back.
Guillotine brisket, done, close the door.
Got a huge battle going on here between Spriggs, Papamihail, Racer, and in the background is Ichazo. Looks like Spriggs has got a bit of damage to his back end. If you get a shot of it, you can see definite damage there on the backlight there, tail light. Joe Racer will take back the position over Nikos Papamihail due to Papamihail having a little bit of contact with the car of John Spriggs.
Might I recommend that people pay attention to what Mr. Giacoli has done throughout this race? That guy has been consistent as shit.
Absolutely. Just absolutely sticking to his pathway, and he's got 6th place going on there, which is
fuck yeah,
great. Under a little bit of pressure there, but from Guillaume Brisset, we see that in the background. They're the two BMWs fighting, but he's still got it.
I mean, people have passed him here and there, and gone up above him and down below him, and this, that, and the other, but he's pretty much stayed where he is for the whole race.
And that's what you want. That's how you win championships. Vinnie Roberts is currently a man in the title hunt because of just being consistent. He's not winning races, but he's delivering.
Oh, bumpity bumpity!
A little bit of physicality there between Brisset and Coley.
Sir, I would appreciate if perhaps you could.
Brisset getting a little angry. He's flashing the headlights at him, and he puts him in the wall.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all. That's brutal. I'm gonna wave a plaid flag on that one. I don't know what that requires, but somebody gotta look into that shit.
That is definitely a black flag there that will be reviewed by the stewards for Guillaume Brisset as he put ESR Championship in the wall.
That is a plaid flag with paisley highlights. Y'all needs to look into that shit.
Absolutely. ESR is rejoined in 12th position behind this fight here between Ichazo, Papa Mihail, Racer, and Springs, which is now over 7th place. By the way, Lucas Bolesky quietly is up to 7th place, having a very solid rate. Seems to be like a trademark of like the Eastern European Slavic countries to have like just this quiet rise through the grid.
That is totally racist, and I approve.
Well, we were talking about it with ESR Championship, who of course is from Albania, and now we got the Polish Corvette driver Molesky doing basically the same thing.
Yep.
No like massive passes or anything, just getting the job done in a workmanlike manner.
And Andy Blade still isn't winning. God damn it! What the fuck, Andy?
He is still at 18th place, stuck behind Cristiano Pinheiro.
I need to point that out just because he's an admin on Discord, and I feel the need to just poke the badger a little bit.
Just belittle him a little bit.
Just a little bit. Maybe if he wasn't all doped up on Newcastle Brown.
Well, we missed two things at the front of note. One,
oh shit,
Darcy Parkinson has disappeared to the distance, almost 8 seconds up now.
Jesus, holy fuck.
2, Vangelos Pargenos is up into 2nd place.
Okay, not really sure how we missed all that kind of nonsense, but you're not wrong.
So the
Poutine machine is the Suzuki freak.
So what I'm going to hypothesize, I do not know, I'm going to hypothesize, by the way, Nikos Papamihail making the move there. One is that Martin Edmonds' tires are probably at this point gone. We got 5 minutes left. Martin is notoriously bad at tire management. They are probably done.
Yeah.
And 2, the hard tires on Darcy Parkinson's car probably coming into their own as the soft tires start to go up.
Martin, the poutine machine, your tire have turned into the gravy, and you need to apply the cheese curd, but you cannot pit.
Indeed. Luciano Chazo putting on the pressure against Joe Racer. By the way, congratulations to Luciano, goes out. Recently promoted Division 2. He was Division 3 at the start of the season and has been promoted based on special performance. So round of applause for him as he moves into the top 10, making a move on Joe Racer.
I'm trying to round of applause while hitting press to talk.
It's a bit difficult, I know.
It's not easy.
He's got a little bit of damage on the car, implies he's been up someone's tailpipe. Possibly at the start with all the chaos that we had at the beginning of the race.
Wait, can I do that on my cheek? Can I do a round of applause? Nope, doesn't work.
We heard something.
Oh yeah, but I mean the beard muffles it.
Talking about a guy who was kind of nowhere in this whole thing. Felipe Fejea has been having a couple of good laps here. He was down in like 20th place or so. He's up to 50th now. So
I mean I didn't want to draw attention to it because I mean I'm used to Felipe being
every time we draw attention to Felipe, something bad happens.
It's true. And I'm used to Felipe being like 30 to 120 seconds ahead of everybody else. And to see him down in 20th odd place is weird, to say the least.
Up to 15th now, John Pache and Jesse Hampton having a little bit of a scrap here over 23rd position. You can always tell Jesse Hampton's car. That blue Porsche stands out in a sea of yellow and white.
Correct. Jesse Hampton when Halftime races sing that song, doo-dah, doo-dah.
We still have 25 cars of the original 27 running. It looks like Dennis Meissner might fall down a lap here relatively shortly. He's 1 minute 28 seconds off the lead, so Darcy should be coming up on him in the nearest future. Sean Kenny trying to climb back through the grid. He's on the tail of Visar Jacoli, who we were given a lot of props to earlier in the race, and then was unceremoniously thrown into the wall.
Get him!
In the meantime, Nikos Papamihel has gotten past John Spriggs for 8th place, so Spriggs down to 9th. Still having a pretty decent comeback drive. He was down far in the field. I imagine the rear end damage there tells the story of a collision off the grid. Andy Blade on your screen now, battling with Cristiano Pinheiro for 17th position.
Andy the Dull Blade.
It's been a bit of a dull blade today, that's for sure.
I'm sorry. I referenced a bunch of Newcastle Brown.
Andy is on the softs. I thought he was on the hard tires, but he's rocking the soft tire.
He's a big softy. Mm-hmm. I rocked a bunch of Newcastle Brown. Whoa, the fuck was that?
Good save by Sean Kenny. Took a little too much curve there.
So yeah, a bunch of Newcastle Brown references, and then your boy Andy Blade apparently stocked up on Nuki Browns as race fuel. And so there's a song called 30 Days in the Hole, originally by Humble Pie, but I prefer the Government Mule version. So I would encourage everybody out there that listens to this to go out and find the 30 Days in the Hole as covered by Government Mule, and you will be enjoying life. And have a Newcastle Brown reference, although it's not what you think. So, more investigation is required by you.
I gotcha. Joe Racer putting the pressure here on Luciano Chaza. By the way, Lucas Molesky has dropped down to 9th place, having lost spots to Papamihel and Spriggs. Spriggs is on pole for race 2 if we end up finishing as is. Just about a minute left in this race, so we're more or less on the last lap here. Whoa! Visar Jacoli taking a trip off track there in his fight with Sean Kenny. And looks like John Pache has had a moment and slipped to the back of the pack.
Here comes Joe Racer. He's a racer named Joe.
He is a racer named Joe, and these are the facts. Putting the pressure on Luciano Echazo for 10th position.
Get him, Hamon!
Which is a big deal, because these are two Division 2 drivers. I believe they're fighting over 2nd place in Division 2, and possibly a Division 2 win, when you consider that Guillaume Brisset, up in 6th place, the current leader for Division 2, is, of course, the guy who threw Visar Jacoli into the wall.
I was going to say.
And probably is facing some kind of penalty on the matter.
Listen, Guillaume, if they don't penalize you, I'm going to find you. I'm going to send you a horrible thing from Amazon. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be good at all. You're going to open it up and go, what the shit? I'm going to specifically get the weirdest dildo I could find. And have them not wrap it at all. Just stamps. Because that was some dirty shit.
Oh, I got my keyboard holder today, and I opened it up, and it's like, box inside of a box. Open it up. Another box inside of a box. This is just a waste. This is just a waste.
I got my fucking liquid cooler stolen off my fucking doorstep.
Hol Martinez putting the pressure on Jesse Hampton in a battle of Division 3 drivers.
Get him, UL!
Over 22nd place. Cadillac versus Porsche.
Senor Martinez, is it Joel, Yoel, or Hoel? Just let us know, because I'm good with either. But I'm a little... Because Yoel Martinez is it Martinez? I can't remember. There's a guy from Slaughterhouse, which is a hip-hop supergroup, and his name is Yoel. Oh, never mind. Donut City.
Donut City. Finishing the race in style. Let's be well, not so much in style now.
Oh my god.
I think
Senor.
Senor Martinez has put some heavy damage on that car. Can
Senor no comprende.
make it? Should be
I'm gonna go with Yoel.
It looks like Dennis Meissner and John Pacheco both finished a lap down. Fastest lap of the race goes to Nikos Papamihail, but the victory goes to BMW's Darcy Parkinson from Vangelis Pargenos, Martin Edmonds, Eric Friesen, Vinnie Roberts, Guillaume Brisset, maybe on a penalty, Nikos Papamihail, John Spriggs, Lucas Molesky, and Luciano Ichazo, your top 10. Your winner in Division 3 was Noel Robbins. Your winner in Division 2 was Guillaume Brisset.
Better ingredients, better laps, Papamihail.
Solid. Like it. Enjoy it. That might actually be one of your best ones that you've come up with.
Martin the Poutine Machine.
Martin is expressing concerns about the video quality. Actually, do you think this is over?
No, he sent the same thing to me, and I decided not to disrupt the exemplary race commentary we were doing. I haven't noticed a thing. He said it might be choppy. I haven't noticed anything.
It was at the beginning, but I think the server in general is very choppy. Are we ready to go and get ready for some carnage? Because we're going to get the same problem.
Get him, UL! There's a lot of smoke. I don't see a lot of carnage.
Not a lot of carnage, actually. People got through pretty clean. There was some contact at the back of the grid, but it is not too bad.
Get him, Puma! Go, Puma, go!
Man on the charge right now is Mike McGracken, who got a pretty bad start, but made it through Turner 1 with a couple of positions picked up.
You know, one of these days you're going to win a race, and you're going to third-person commentary your own shit, and I'm going to laugh the whole time. I'm not even going to help.
I've already done it, actually, one.
I'm not even going to be there. I'm going to be here, and I'm occasionally going to laugh.
Always commentate on yourself in the third person. That is the rule. Nikos Papamihail out in front ahead of John Spriggs, Eric Friesen, Vinnie Roberts, Guillaume Brisset, Martin Edmonds, Visar Jacoli, and Darcy Parkinson is your top 8. Visar with a great start. Dude finished in, 13th place, I think, in the other race. So he would have started 13th, and he's up to 7th. Fantastic getaway.
Better starts, better ingredients, Papamihail.
Well, Papamihail got a good start, too. Only plus one spot, but, I mean, he got the better of John Spriggs.
He's almost a second out. Fuck you.
Well, that's not just the start. That's his raw pace, and he's running away with it right now.
Goodbye. Pardon me, I'm going to incorporate, like, a few thousand people to steer my trireme.
Pretty much. We have lost 2 cars. It looks like Richard DeRoche and Andy Unayaki did not take part in the start of race 2. Eric Friesen running in 3rd place again. He was running in 3rd place for a lot of last race too, and looking like he might be going for a podium here. Darcy Parkinson on the hard tires, race 1 winner, putting the pressure on 7th place Visar Jacoli, and also getting a little bit of pressure from behind from Vangelis Pargenos, who finished 2nd in race 1. Sean Kenny in 10th place, run out a little bit wide there. Further back, your leader in Division 3 is currently Jesse Hampton in 18th position.
Hampton rings to sing this song, doo-da, doo-da.
Although, in retrospect, we could say that Cristiano Pinheiro is actually the leader of Division 3 because he got demoted after this race to Division 3. Visar Jacoli, the Albanian flag proudly waving as he goes on the attack against Martin Edmonds. By the way, Guillaume Brisset is only 2 spots ahead of Visar Jacoli. So, if Martin knows what's good for him, he might want to get out of that sandwich.
Speaking of sandwiches, we are hereby sponsored in this particular race by Uncle Daddy's Premium Squirrel Paste. Comes in chunky and extra chunky style, 60% less hair and bones per tube, and guaranteed 3% bug parts or less. as per FDA regulations. Back to you in the studio.
Your favorite driver, Andy Blade, appears to have gotten another poor start. He's down in 21st.
Like you're barely able to hold that together. That's great.
Indeed, barely able to. Darcy Parkinson in a fierce battle here with Visar Jacoli over 7th place. Vinnie Roberts in 4th place once again, doing, just quietly putting together good performances after good performances, putting the pressure on Eric Friesen now. The gap at front has closed a little bit. John Spriggs has kind of come on terms, and Visar Jacoli is off the track once again. That's the same corner that happened at last time as well.
Correct. I do remember seeing. I'm going to see if I can scroll around and find Visar definitely had something to say about that.
Darcy Parkinson and Vangelis Parginos going side by side. Sean Kenny in the mix too. Parkinson losing 2 spots to the Suzuki Freak, and Sean Kenny, your boy in the Kuba car.
The Suzuki Freak versus Vinny Kenny.
Indeed. And further down...
Apparently, Darcy was the one to bump him, Visar, in the second race.
Alright, so Darcy Parkinson maybe looking at a little something for some extracurriculars with Visar Jacoli, who's once again come out the worst. Looks like Jacoli has slipped all the way to the back of the pack, and in fact might be out of the race based on that. Someone coming out of the pits, John Pacheco, had to make a pit stop early, and he is now getting lapped by the leaders. He is the damaged-looking yellow Corvette.
Listen.
Which I know is not super helpful.
Listen. You don't go in with death on the line against an Albanian.
You do not.
Just not how that works.
And a man who's kind of on a bit of a charge here, Felipe Fajea, our flying lizard man, is in 12th place, battling with Wesley Stokes over the
Here he comes
position.
again, go Godzilla! Get him, Felipe!
More
go!
Man, wouldn't it?
Super Frittata Express 5000.
Felipe Fajea fighting his way through. By the way, we'll be doing live commentary next Saturday for the Enduro race.
Oh, I will race home after fucking work for that one.
And also the Academy Cup starts on Saturday, so some of the slower drivers will get to strut their stuff. Byron, would you be down for doing commentary for that as well?
I am.
Not live. Not live.
I mean, you're going to have to, yeah. Okay, not live, totally. I'm down for the commentary whenever. Also, anybody wants to throw me a few bucks for race fuel, go ahead.
Looks like we have lost Visar Jacoli and also possibly Darcy Parkinson. He's down in 24th position. So there are problems, and it looks like he's being shown even with John Pacheco. I suspect we have lost 2 of the top BMW racers, Visar Jacoli and Darcy Parkinson. So the pressure is now on John Spriggs to deliver something, but he is right on the tail of Nikos Papamihail for the lead. So John Spriggs charging in the absence of Darcy Parkinson. By the way, with Parkinson out of the race, this is a big chance for all of the major players in the championship to make up some ground with the championship leader in the red and black BMW out of the race. There is something you will not see every day. Mike McGracken overtaking Andy Blade for 17th position.
I think that's probably in pretty average kind of scenario because Eddie Blade is drunk 98.75% of the time.
Looks like they are squabbling over that 17th position.
Put him in the wall!
Plays into the advantage of Jesse Hampton, who is up in 16th place and the Division 3 leader at the moment.
Put him in the wall!
John Spriggs still chasing the leading Porsche. Eric Friesen's been bumped off the podium by Vinnie Roberts. Guillaume Brisset in 5th place ahead of Martin Edmonds, who was a podium finisher in race 1. Behind Edmonds is Vangelis Parginos, and then Sean Kenny, Luciano Chazo, and Wesley Stokes are your top 10.
Lucky Luciano.
We have lost from the race Darcy Parkinson and Visar Jacoli, and John Pacheco is a bit of a pickle. He had to make a pit stop for some damage, it appears, and is now down a lap to a significant portion of the field.
I would like to state for the record that I enjoy pickles. And the more garlic and chilies you can put in the pickles, the better.
They're also an excellent diet snack.
As previously discovered.
Previously discovered and abused by myself in my weight loss program.
Hell yeah. I would still we're looking for proof or particular personal recollections as to Luciano Ichazo with the Argentine background. Sir, were you perhaps raised in an area where they were predominantly Italian speaking in Argentina for no particular reason? No particular reason. We just want to know. We think it's interesting, these geographical distributions of people throughout history.
Very much so.
That's the only thing we're looking for.
We were riding there with Lucas Bileski, who's on a battle for 12th place with Ariel Zattoni, and now we are on board with the guillotine himself, Guillaume Brisset, who is putting the pressure on the BMW of Eric Friesen for 4th place. Martin Edmonds right behind him in the Fanatic BMW, the special edition one. Mistake by Martin, and that has allowed Vangelis Pargenos to pull alongside and get the overtake done. So shades of race 1 when Pargenos managed to get around Martin for 2nd place. This time it is for 6th position. Division leaders are Papa Mihail, Brisset, and Jesse Hampton, who's kind of running away with the Division 3 crown.
Doo-da.
Sean Kenny up to 8th place, by the way, in the Ferrari. And Eric Friesen off the track! Oh
my God.
That's going to promote that's going to promote Guillaume Brisset to 4th place. That's going to promote Pargenos to 5th. Edmonds to 6th. 7th for Sean Kenny. 8th for Luciano Ichazo. And rejoining in 10th place is Eric Friesen. Or 9th place, pardon me, Eric Friesen. Wesley Stokes under pressure from fellow Porsche driver Felipe Fajea in the Flying Lizard car, and just behind them is the 2 Corvettes of Ariel Zattoni and Lucas Mileski. John Spriggs keeping the pressure on Nikos Papamiel. I was pretty worried when Papamiel pulled out like a second to the good on like lap 1, but the gap is rather stagnant at about 0.4 to 0.6. Wesley Stokes giving a little nudge to Eric Friesen, and Felipe Fajea says, "This could be my opportunity. Let's go for it." Here goes the Flying Lizard car versus the Brumos number 14 car. Inside line for Wesley Stokes. Can Felipe go around the outside? No, he cannot. And actually exposed himself a little bit to danger there from Ariel Zattoni, the 12th place Corvette there, who along with Lucas Mileski are licking their chops at the potential for a little bit of Porsche on Porsche violence. In the meantime, at the front, we were talking about how John Spriggs was keeping Papa Mihail honest. The gap was suddenly up to about 1.2 seconds there, and is now closing back down to about 0.8 of a second. So a bit of an elastic band situation going on there between the Porsche and the BMW out in front.
I would probably recommend ballistic missiles at that point. Just nuke one tire. One tire's fine.
It's one tire, yeah.
It's fine. It's good.
Looking further back, we have some interesting battles going pretty much throughout the field. Things are actually very close. Interestingly enough, in qualifying, we didn't really go over this at the time, but we'll bring it up now. There was from about 16th to 22nd, less than 1/10 of a second separating all of those cars.
Well, I mean, they're all scrubs, so, I mean, they should be punished and sent to a gulag in Siberia.
You're calling our boy Felipe Fajea a scrub?
I mean, so far, I'm not impressed, based on his elevation past 3rd division.
He's in 2nd.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe it.
He is in second division.
Might I recommend for the future that he be downgraded to 19th division?
We don't have that many divisions.
Well, I mean, it might prove as an incentive going forward. You've been relegated to the 37,000th level of hell.
I mean, there is a driver we would probably send down there, but it's not Felipe.
That's true. There's probably a couple.
Speaking of guys who are in a little bit of hot water, Cristiano Pinheiro is very close to a series ban, so he's in 20th place right now, probably being a little bit cautious on the matter.
Is that the squid flipper guy?
No, that is Luca Gray you're thinking of.
I don't even know who that is.
He was a guy who accumulated a lot of penalty points in his debut.
He sucks.
Now.
No, listen, it's not my job to now. My job is to be as coarse and abrasive as people are afraid to be, and that guy sucks.
Actually, don't know. I haven't raced close enough to him to really have an opinion on the matter.
I think he's a 14-year-old kid who don't know what's going on and wants to oof and yikes his way up to the ranks, and he ain't no good.
Eric Friesen losing 9th place there to Wesley Stokes. So Wesley having a really good second race here. After a kind of mediocre run in race 1, he's up to 9th place, doing a solid job for Porsche. Their number 3 Porsche in the race, and their number 1 Porsche that's not Greek.
Well, that's because he's Macedonian.
I feel this is unlikely, but I suppose...
Since it's also Greek?
Don't tell the Macedonians that.
I'm going to tell them what they ain't never heard before.
Well, they've heard it before.
And that is that they have no choice, so just go with the flow.
May not have been told it in that specific language. Pargenos on the attack against Guillaume Brisset here for 4th position in the race. Brisset having a really solid run. Although probably still with a penalty from race 1 hanging over his head for the Vissar Jacoli incident.
Lord have mercy.
Speaking of... Vissar is out of the race along with Darcy Parkinson. Eric Friesen trying to get back past Wesley Stokes, Felipe Fahea in the fight there. Ariel Zatoni there. Lucas Molesky's dropped back a little bit. He's kind of calmly waiting for this to sort itself out, maybe before picking the bones. Eric Friesen back in 9th place.
I thought Darcy Parkinson had reflexes that were supernatural, and therefore he would win every single race. I am shocked and appalled.
Darcy is probably the 2nd fastest driver in ESR.
Shocked and appalled, sir.
Top 5 for sure. I'd say without a doubt the top 5 is Tahab Mali, Caleb Gonzalez, Darcy Parkinson, Vangelis Pargenos, and Nikos Papamale. That would be my top 5 right there.
I mean...
Caleb being number 1.
Based on this particular performance, I think Darcy Parkinson should be downgraded to perhaps Division 4. This is garbage. Absolute trash.
He won race 1, so I don't know if we have any of those routes for this.
Listen, fluke. Unrepeatable. Can't do it twice.
Are you suggesting he's the Pastor Maldonado of ESR?
I am perhaps suggesting maybe something like that, because I don't know what you're talking about. But
Pastor
also because, grindy wobbly, what's going on?
Wesley Stokes got spun around by Felipe Fahea and is dropped backwards through the field. Fahea is up to 10th place, but that could be very temporary for 2 things. Ariel Zatoni is all over the back of him, and I feel like it's probably the faster car right now. But 2, there could be some steward room repercussions for Felipe for that particular incident with Wesley Stokes.
Felipe Ferretada 5000 Fahea.
To explain the Pastor Maldonado joke, he won the Spanish Grand Prix a couple years ago for Williams, which was not a really good car at the time. And Pastor is kind of absolutely thought of as like king of pay drivers. Dude just had a lot of Venezuelan oil money behind him. And that was really the only reason he was on the Formula 1 grid.
Double oof yikes.
So he had the random win, which is probably not repeatable because he's retired from Formula One and, well, didn't win any other races.
So you're saying you're agreeing with me that Darcy Parkinson should just basically be dropped from all fucking leagues because he is bad?
I am not agreeing with that.
I heard agreement that Darcy Parkinson, while being okay in one race, is total trash in another race, and therefore Division 3 at best.
I'm saying that we all have our bad moments, and we all have our good moments. I mean, hell, I won a race. I mean, what does that say?
That means that you're way better than Darcy Parkinson.
Ooh, I do not co-sign this, and please don't come at me, Darcy.
I mean, every single time I see Darcy Parkinson out in front, he loses. So, I mean, what's going on there? Division 14.
Ariel Zatoni putting the pressure on Felipe Ferreira. Wesley Stokes trying to make a comeback run. He's on the tail of Joe Racer for 13th position in the white and green Corvette. Round 613 is going on for 17th place now, right between Mike McCracken and Steve the Carman.
Get him, Carman! I mean, wait, hold on.
Now we find out where your loyalties lie.
My loyalties only lie to nicknames. If you could make my nickname proud, you will win.
This is true. If Byron gives you a nickname, it's a sign of nothing but endearment and the fact that he will give you biased commentary.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, if you pass
in the meantime,
Mr. Mike, you will lose.
Speaking of a guy who has a nickname, Andy Blade is dropping back through the pack once again.
Andy, the dull and rusty blade.
And in the meantime, speaking of the battle, it is Steve Carman on the attack against Mike McCracken for 16th place.
Damn it, Steve. Steve, what car?
It is a Corvette today.
Oh, very nice.
White and black, or white and green. What could that even be?
Sprite?
Could be a Sprite. Could be a 7-Up.
Not technically a
Whoa!
bar.
A little bit of contact there between Wesley Stokes and Joe Racer. Nice save, though, by
Nudgy,
Joe.
nudgy, tappy, tappy.
Nice save by Joe. Fantastic car control. Doing a great job of keeping it down. Sean Kenny is all over the back of Martin Edmonds. The Puma is hunting.
Oh, Vinny Kitty Racing Incorporated.
Guillaume Brisset has lost 4th place to Vangelis Pargenos some time ago, so the Greeks are running 1st and 4th. Nikos Papamihail now up by about 1.7 seconds over John Spriggs at the front of the pack. Vinny Roberts running off the podium, and then, as stated, Pargenos, Brisset, Edmonds, Kenny, Ichazo, Friesen, and Fahea, your top 10.
Correct. I was joking earlier about the Vinny Kinney racing thing, but if these guys keep qualifying and finishing at the heights of the bracket that they do in these couple races, I don't know how that's a bad idea, guys.
He's very serious about it.
I'm just saying, I know that your points structure goes all the way down into, like, the guy who finishes 98,000th place with 2/3 of 1/8 of 4th to the 5th power points. But if you're finishing both in the top 10 all the time, might be a good idea.
Might be. I mean, the question, though, as far as teammates are concerned, is how much, like, in common does the Ferrari and the Corvette have? Like,
who cares?
How much of the data is transferable there?
Who gives a shit? Listen, if both of you guys keep finishing in the top 10, who gives a rat's ass? Like, does it matter? Do they have to be racing the same exact car all the time?
No, but there's a certain teammate perspective. If you're racing the same car, you can give each other a lot more advice in terms of setup.
But who cares, though? They're both finishing top 10. I don't know how this ends. I have no idea. You've got another 9 minutes to go. But if both of these guys are finishing top 10 in individual cars, who gives a rat's ass? You do you, I do me, and we get maybe one or two other guys.
Guillaume
That guy's
Brisset.
eating shit. That guy ate shit. A lot of shit.
We were just pepping up Sean Kenny. He's up in the top 5.
You go, boy.
Martin Edmonds and Guillaume Brisset have it coming together. It looked like Brisset just kind of lost control of the car and spun in front of Martin. Didn't look like Martin did anything wrong there.
I think there was
Sean Kenny gets both.
There may or may not have been a gravy jet shooting out from the side of Martin's car, and Martin may or may not grease up the brisket, and he slid off the track. Look,
Indeed.
somebody look into that James Bond bullshit.
Vangelis Pargenos for now has been fought off by Vinnie Roberts for the last spot on the podium. It looks like top 2 are pretty much just got to bring it home with 5 minutes to go here. It's Papa Hale and Spriggs. Lucas Molesky's up into the top 10 now. Felipe Fejea is up to 9th place. Wesley Stokes. Brisset is rejoined in 12th place. Jesse Hampton, the Division 3 leader, is up to 13th, having a spectacular race. Very solid.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said. All I know is I saw in the background, I saw Vinnie Kinney. There's Vinnie Kinney right there!
There's Vinnie Kinney right there. The 2 yellow and black cars.
Vinnie Kinney racing!
Vinnie Roberts, Sean Kenny, 3rd and 5th place right now. Making some kind of weird tzatziki sandwich.
Suzuki, you fucking uncultured swine!
I refuse to pronounce Greek words correctly. I'm
You
Slavic.
Albanian son of a bitch.
Not Albanian, sir. Much worse.
Don't lie to me. The abomination himself.
Much more racist.
We will cleanse you right down to the bone.
My people are obsessed with ethnic cleanseness to the point where they would ethnically cleanse me because I have Irish DNA, Polish, and Croatian.
All correct. I don't even want to know what the fuck they do with me.
They would be like, "Sir, please step into this shower."
Sir, you seem unclean. Get him, kitty.
If you ever want insight into the Yugoslavian culture, just watch a little semi-documentary called "The Real Football Factories International," and that tells you more than you want to know.
Yeah,
to be quite frank.
Just don't name your kid Bogdan.
Bogdan. The Delier have refused to meet with us due to the fact that the media tends to portray them as war criminals.
I mean, yeah.
I showed my dad that, by the way, and he's just watching it with me, and you get to that point where Danny Dyer is talking about the war criminal bit. And my dad just goes, "Because they are."
I mean, yeah, and it's not even that he hates them. It's like, yeah, I mean, I mean, on a lot of fronts, both sides, pretty clear. We all made mistakes.
My brother, when we were there, actually was heavily recruited by almost all the fan bases because 6'8" dude, he can crack some skulls.
That is affirmative.
You'd be a popular man where I'm from, Byron.
Yeah, I got a beard. I shave my head. That's about as good as it gets, right?
Pretty much. Vangelis Pargenos has moved into the last podium spot, but we cut away from that to watch Pinheiro versus Blade. Now we've cut back to it, so
useless. Bloody useless.
We got places to go with the racing spectators still.
Get him, Vincenzo. Team Vinicini. 1-2.
Indeed, they're 4-5 actually right now.
Yeah, I know, but math is hard.
Eric Friesen under pressure and going off in this one. I think his tires are just done. Losing a spot there to Felipe Fett.
Yeah.
Vinny Roberts going on the attack. Pinheiro and Blade are basically side by side, so not gonna lie, be kind of interesting to go check that out.
I'm a little interested as to why the Greek guy took the French flag car.
I would say immediately my thoughts are there is no Greek flag car. Just
That's fair. It's as far south as we can go and not be Italian because they're pricks.
Because they're pricks. Screw the Roman Empire. It's just the Greek Empire with extra steps.
Yes, sir. Fuck those guys.
It looks like Andy Blade may have gotten the elbows out on Cristiano Pinheiro because now Pinheiro's down in 20th place. So
Andy, you dirty slut.
I suspect there was some off-track action there.
Andy, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna throw 3 Guinnesses in the garbage because of you.
I thought Vangelis Pargenos would probably leave Vinny a little bit for dead, but Vinny's still in this. Vinny still smells podium.
Go, Vinny, go.
Eric Friesen putting a lot of pressure on Felipe Ferreira. By the way, the Flying Lizard is in 8th place. Felipe Ferreira running in 8th place.
Oh, good Felipe. For 5,000 within striking distance.
And the Division 3 leader, Jesse Hampton, is up to 12th place, having a fantastic second race.
Vincenzo, reeling you in.
We are most likely on the final lap here, so Vinny does not have a lot of time to get past Mr. Pargenos for the lead.
Pit maneuver.
Eric Friesen doing everything he can
Pit maneuver.
to try to get around the Porsche Felipe Ferreira, but the Flying Lizard holds strong in 8th place for now. In the meantime, the battle between Steve Carman and Mike McGracken continues for 15th place.
Pull a brakey. Oh no, he's in front.
He's in front of me now.
Get in front and then pull a brakey.
So, your winner today is Nikos Papamihail here in race 2. Martin Edmonds putting a lot of not Martin Edmonds. That is Martin Edmonds putting a lot of pressure on Luciano Echazo's gotten up to 6th place. Congratulations, Luciano. A fantastic run. Felipe Ferreira, fantastic run in 8th place. He finishes up ahead of Eric Friesen, Lucas Molesky, Wesley Stokes, Jesse Hampton, Guillaume Brisset. His winning streak is ended. Finally, Dennis Meissner putting the pressure on Noel Robbins for 18th place at the moment. That's a pretty key position for the Division 3 standings. Further up, Joe Racer, 14th. Steve Carman, 15th. Mike McGracken's going to come home in 16th place ahead of Andy Blade. Noel Robbins is going to hold off Dennis.
You hear that? Ahead of Andy Blade. What a scrub.
Dennis Meissner is going to come home in 19th position. Cristiano Pinheiro in the black BMW is going to bring it home in 20th place. And your last finisher is going to be, actually just Pinheiro. Looks like we did eventually lose John Pachea. Unfortunately, fastest lap of the race went to John Spriggs, but he could not come out with the victory. Nikos Papamihail in first position.
Spriggs with that fast fucking time.
Yeah, 128.843. No one else even got into the 128s, it doesn't look like.
What a bunch of scrubs.
John Spriggs bringing it home hard. And that is how that goes right now. I don't have a standings update because we've not uploaded the log files to the results section. So you'll have to catch that on the race app page. Once again, Byron, thanks for your help bringing us the action here today.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
And with that, we will see you for GT2s at Road America, and we'll also have the Enduro race coming up. Please enjoy that next week. And we have Wednesday's Zero GT Racing this Wednesday coming to you live from Sonoma with a 2-race sprint format.